This Cade strat on Chalet wins me 97% of my ranked games. And in today's video, I'll be showing you 7 strats that break Rainbow Six Siege. But first of all, let's go back to that Cade strat I just showed you. And I actually lied to you, no, you don't just throw it on the wall. Instead, once you have this wall reinforced, you're going to walk all the way upstairs. Once you've walked upstairs, come into dining. Then prone next to the dining table just like this and shoot open a hole. Once this hole is opened, you should be able to see on the other side of the desk, right here. Once you're able to see that, just throw your Cade Claw on the other side inside of the table. This Cade Claw should end up right here inside the table. And the radius of that Cade Claw, as you can see, perfectly electrifies both walls. And if we go inside here, you can clearly see that the Cade Claw is nowhere to be found. This greatly confuses any attackers who are trying to EMP the wall from trench or anybody trying to shoot the Cade Claw from the doorway right here. Not only is this Cade Claw amazing and super hidden, but if you want to electrify this hatch, I have an even better one for you. Now obviously you need this hatch reinforced for it to be electrified, so let's do that. Then you're going to walk all the way into the bottom fireplace, and then once you're here, you're going to preemptively break open this double door. Now you want to do this before the prep phase ends. Once the prep phase ends, the second it does, throw your Cade Claw in this corner exactly right here. That Cade Claw, as you can see, completely electrifies this hatch. And if anybody on attack with EMP grenades tries to EMP this hatch, they actually won't be able to reach the Cade Claw on the other side. Now you might be thinking, well, as an attacker, they can easily shoot and see that Cade Claw. But pretend for a second that you are an attacker. When you come outside here, the last place your crosshair is going to go is all the way right there. And even if it does, you're not really going to spot it because you'll be looking around. You're going to be way too focused on the many angles that can test you on this double door. Or maybe going below right here for utility, whatever you're doing, the last place you're going to check is right there. I've used this Cade Claw multiple times in my ranked games and not once has anybody found it. Now these two Cade Claws are super nice. Yes, they electrify things without you being able to see them, but this isn't even the best part of the strat. Once you've had these placed, come back into basement, then break this wine barrel right here. Once you've broken this wine barrel, hop on top of the other barrels. Once you're here, you're going to shoot this part of the floor. Now that you've done this, you can easily see anybody that walks into the double door just like this, allowing you to get any free kills on the people who might be trying to get your Cade Claw, or just really anybody walking into the double door in general. You're pretty safe here because all you have to do to get back to cover is hide behind the metal shelf, and the Cade Claws are really easy to do, so it's an easy strat and it's a very safe strat, and I definitely recommend it for solo queue next time you play Chalet. But an even weirder strat is this unorthodox mirror setup for Games Room in Villa. Now normally what you'll see is people double reinforcing this wall with a mirror on the study wall, but you don't want to do this. Instead, you're still going to keep the double reinforcement here, but you're going to put your mirror on the left side just like this, and you're going to put it very close to the left side of the wall. Now you might think this is weird, but hear me out till the end of the strat. Next, what you're going to do is instead of putting head holes here, you're actually going to reinforce this wall. Then put your mirror on the left side of this reinforcement as well. Now this is a Pro League strat, and the entire point of this setup is to make it to where they actually take Aviator, but it's bait. You're essentially giving up Aviator control so that you can play off of this mirror and easily shoot them whenever they go for a plant. Or if they're planting on the vault door, you have a Nitro that can easily deny it. The reason you do this strat over other strats is because typically if you have head holes here in solo queue environments, your teammates aren't good enough at holding this mirror to be able to make it effective, especially just because they can go on the door and shoot it. So this is a much more solo queue friendly version of the mirror strat that a lot of people won't expect because you're just baiting and giving them Aviator control for free only to punish them with your gun or a Nitro cell in the process. The reason you have this second mirror here is so that you don't need these head holes. These head holes give you angles, sure, but it also gives them angles. So this mirror setup allows you to have information in here without needing the head holes. But honestly, I would still prefer to have these head holes here than not. The reason for this is just the head holes being in existence will make people on study a lot more pressured and a lot more cautious whenever they're doing their side execute. Not only this, but if you end up making the huge Hail Mary play of breaking this study mirror, which you would only do if they don't push study, then you can get on this mirror and sit inside of bar and use these head holes to deny anybody on the doorway. It's a really good strategy, but again, you only want to break this mirror after a good minute has gone in the round and you know for a fact that nobody is pushing study. Otherwise, they're going to use the mirror against you and it's all going to go to waste. But you could always just put Nazami on the corner of the chair there and block the window, so it doesn't really matter either way, do what you want to. But we've talked extensively about defensive strategies. So let's talk about this attacking Ram strat for the basement of Clubhouse. As Ram, you want to spawn construction, because the entire point of the strat is to take the hallway control right here. Once you're here, watch out for the door here, and throw your Ram device through the hallway door just like this. Then all you're going to do is click it and it's going to go straight. You don't even need to watch it, as it will just clear out this entire hallway for vert, which is really good for anybody pushing kitchen trying to get vert for the hatch drop. But once you throw this, you don't want to get on it. You actually want to immediately leave and go on something called the chain rappel, which is right here. Once you're on chain rappel, a lot of defenders hearing the ram in the hallway will immediately come down main stairs or up main stairs, depending on where they are, or from the bathroom or from the bar double, doesn't really matter. They'll try to contest this ram gadget right here. You on chain rappel can easily deny this because you can shoot through the chains, where it's much harder for them to shoot through the chains because it's close to you. And you'll get a lot of free kills on this angle because a lot of low elo players don't know that this angle even exists. So what I would do, again, throw the ram device, immediately bait it for a good 30 to 45 seconds. If no one comes down, then comes the next part of the plan. You're going to do the exact same thing, except through the kitchen window this time. Break it like that, send your ram device through, and this will give your team vert. Now, you can do this immediately after throwing the other one, but I don't like doing that typically, because what that does is it gives the defenders more time to contest you, and then, you know, you're not going to be on the rappel fast enough to kill anybody trying to flank your people in kitchen, so I like to immediately get on it. You could instead do that one first, and then this one, and then get on the chain rappel. It doesn't really matter. Just do these two strategies. For your third ram device, it is pretty much optional. The one that I like the best, though, is right here. You'll get the vert all along the wall here, which is great. Or what you can do is send one identical to this one, except along this wall. So you get some vert along this wall just like this. What this will do is it'll allow you to rotate right here while also giving you an angle onto the rotate if anyone's in armory. And then it gives you the exact same angle right here for anybody playing on the feet holes, maybe on the secondary rotate that's typically right here. It's actually pretty good. And then if you still want vert on this side, you do have a shotgun that you can use to get that vert, which is the beautiful thing about ram. Or you could do the reverse opposite where you put the ram device here, shotgun these holes out right here, and then now you have vert for everybody. But as ram, since you have smokes, typically you want this hatch to be open as well with your teammates, and then you can smoke off the rotate, have someone on vert, smoke off the left as well, and then drop with diffuser and plant. But if you don't want to do that and you want to play on your own vert, you can have your teammates do that, and then you play on your vert and get a free round win. It's very, very easy to do, and as long as you're okay with playing a more passive approach to the attack, then this strategy is definitely for you. But what about something a little bit more aggressive for my fast-paced players? Well, this blitz rush for top floor on Chalet is amazing. What you want to do is either spawn campfire or spawn lakeside, helipad, whatever you call it. Then immediately you're going to want to rappel onto the bathroom balcony, just like this. Once you've rappelled onto the balcony, you want to make sure that no one's contesting you from this window. So before you do this rush, make sure that your teammates have library control. If they don't, it's a little bit more risky, but it's still doable. What I would do next is bring breaching charges. As you can see in the bottom right, I accidentally brought smoke grenades. You don't want to do this. Bring breaching charges instead. Let's pretend that I just put this breaching charge down on the window just like this. I'd put the breach charge down, I'd have a teammate behind me because this is a duo Q strat, and then immediately I'd breach and run in with blitz and try to take piano control just like this. This seems like a Hail Mary play, but I promise you, as long as you have a drone and solar to make sure that you don't get flanked, this is an absolutely easy play that anybody with a brain can do flawlessly. All you do, you jump in with blitz, you make sure you get a kill here, and then you flash the person in piano, get kills, whatever it may be, and then that person that I talked about who is in library needs to come up, get these walls open, and then you can sit in here and cover for a plant while they're behind there. Very, very, very high risk, high reward, fast pace, but every time I've seen my teammates do it, it's worked every time because nobody expects a blitz to just run in that window. No one expects it, so it's great. I definitely recommend you do it if you want to have a little bit of fun and not take things too seriously with maybe one of your friends. Something you can do solo, however, is this Amaru shotgun strat that is just as fast-paced. For this strat, you want to spawn junkyard, and your primary objective is the top floor bomb site. But before you even worry about what you do after spawn, let's talk about the prep phase, in which you're going to drive your drone in this drone hole right here. Driving your drone in this drone hole will allow you to have a cutoff camera for anyone trying to go in the shower hallway, because as Amaru, you're going to push small towers, so you want to know if anybody in the prep phase is on this side of the map at all. If no one walks past this camera during or a little bit after the prep phase, then you can get off of it, and now you know reliably that you have all of small tower, upper small tower control, shower control, and dining control. The only things that you have to worry about are the flank from this double door, and anybody inside of kitchen, because as a Maru, you're actually going to be playing in kitchen. So once you're here, make sure that you keep your cutoff drone there for flanks if you have, you know, good teammates that actually watch your drones, and then get on this drone and drone out kitchen. Once kitchen's clear, or if you end up getting a kill with your shotgun, you can come into kitchen. Now, here's the strat. Typically, this hatch is soft, and if it's reinforced, you can still do the strat, and I'll tell you how after. But if it's soft, all you have to do is open up a shotgun hole like this, make sure you have a suppressor in your shotgun so they don't hear this. Then, what you're going to do is throw a flash grenade through the hole that you made. Once you throw this flash, though, you have to immediately and quickly get out your grappling gun. Now make sure that whenever you get out your grappling gun, the gun that you have out before you switch is your shotgun, so that you don't rappel up and switch to your SMG-11 immediately. So with all these steps in mind, I just flash, I have my shotgun out, I immediately pull out my rappel, push up, and now anybody in kids that can possibly contest you will be blind. People here will be blind. People on the bomb chest will be blind. People on the rotate will be blind. People right here and on the doorway will be blind. So now you can come in here, and what I immediately do is I face check here, turn the corner, boom, kill anybody here. And now I just have kids control for absolutely free. If you're stuck in kids, though, you have a second flash grenade. Use it over just like this. That flash grenade will re-blind everybody to where you can kill people here, and now you're in the bomb site and you have kids control for absolutely free. This works really well if you have a teammate who's on the kids window. So if you see anybody that's trying to push the not the kids window, the dorms window, excuse me, if you see anyone trying to push here, then I would do this strat. It's very, very effective. Now if the hatch is reinforced, what I would do instead is literally the exact same thing on this window. So like imagine you push out here instead. Open the window preemptively, wait about 30 seconds to a minute so they forget that you're on this window, then throw a flash grenade inside, get your grapple out, and I'm gonna rush in. Now, I don't like this one as much because it takes longer to get in the window, therefore they're blinded for less time, and it makes more noise, and it's much more of an obvious strat. So I like the hatch one more, but it's really up to you. Bringing it back to the defense though, let's talk about this Maestro observation blocker strat for the basement of Clubhouse. First, what you want to do as Maestro is put a camera on top of the shelf just like this. Now, if you didn't know, this is unmeleeable, and the only way they can melee it is by vaulting up here, which is pretty dangerous for them to do. Pair that camera up with a observation blocker behind the rack right here so they can't shoot it when they drop. And now they can't even drone the fact that this Maestro camera is here, and if you look at it, it kind of blends in with the guns. It's pretty hidden. Your second Maestro camera is going to go on the floor just like this. Now the reason that it goes on the floor and not on the wall is because typically you have feet holes right along here. And this Maestro camera, if you get on it, can actually see and shoot through the feet holes and anybody trying to go in the modal hallway. So I like putting it on the floor. It is a bit more dangerous, but who really cares? You got two of them anyways. Now, obviously, we want to put an observation blocker in front of this one too, just so that when they try to drone it out, they won't see its exact location, so when they drop, it's a little bit more dangerous for them. The primary objective of this strat is that when they drop the hatch, they have two Maestro cameras that you can switch between to kill them that they can't even drone in the first place, which is very powerful because if they try to shoot one, you just get on the other, shoot them, they try to shoot this one, okay, get on the other, and you just jiggle between the two of them. This being said, because this is the primary strat, your third Maestro camera does not really matter. But if I had to really pick one, I'd put one on the shelf like so. Pair that up with an observation blocker next to this beer case right here. And now they can't drone the double door, the single door, or your Maestro camera. While your Maestro camera, if you get on it, can see anybody in the hallway trying to drone you, and anybody trying to drone from generator, or anybody trying to sit in dirt or behind AK rack. It's very, very nice. Now, if anyone's planting right here behind rockets, you have 3 cameras you can use to jiggle. So it's a pretty broken strategy, I won't lie, it's really nice. And in terms of like where to sit as Maestro, you want to be sitting somewhere that you can capitalize off of your cameras. And because you typically have a rotate, that is right here, playing anywhere in church is going to be your best bet. That way you can shoot off of your Maestro cameras just like so. But honestly, sitting behind the church wall right here with optional head holes is just as fine too if you don't want to go for such an aggressive approach. As you can see, camera abilities in Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege can be pretty broken. An even better camera strat though is this Valkyrie strat for top floor of Oregon. For the first camera, you want to first pull out your deagle. Then you're going to shoot out the wooden portion of the top attic triangle right here. Once you've done this, you're going to find a part of the wooden chase that isn't obstructed by debris, so about right there. That's flat enough. Now your camera should sit flush with the wooden chase just like so. Once you get on this camera, you can clearly see all of trophy, but also if you turn the camera around, you can clearly see all of upper and lower attic as well as people on the window and the wall. It's very, very powerful as long as you're actively on it. But you also, and more importantly, need a camera for somewhere inside of Master. Now the best camera is the one in the corner on top of the dresser right here, but unfortunately this is too common, so I'll give you a different one. Instead, you want to use your deagle to break out this portion of the dresser like I did, and throw a camera in the bottom portion of the dresser. People typically will look at the top, and this is pretty hidden, so I like to use it, and you can clearly still see people walking in the door and in the closet door, which is the main purpose of this camera, and I'll talk about that later. The final camera, you're going to do pretty much the same thing you did with the first camera and just shoot open the top portion of the ceiling like this. Once you do that, again, find the flat portion of the top of the wall and throw your camera in there. Once your camera is here, now you're able to see all of kids, and the window, and the rotate into kids. But also, you're able to see anybody on the head holes, and you're able to see anybody that walks up white stairs, but more importantly, you're able to see anybody that hops into dorms from the window. This is a multi-purpose camera here. Now, that camera and the previous camera that I showed you in Master both serve the same purpose, which is pre-placed nitro cells. This pre-placed nitro cell in Classroom allows you to kill anybody that you see walking into closet on your Valkyrie camera trying to get the wall open. But let's say they don't push this side of the map, and they push the big window and white stairs instead. Well, then you can get on the third camera, ping the bottom of the double window right here, put a nitro cell just right here, and now anybody that walks into the double window, you can easily get a nitro kill from below for absolutely free. Now, because you need to place these nitros whenever you see them pushing, it's best to play downstairs as Valkyrie, at least in the early parts of the round. But that's it for this video. My name's Alka, and check out this next video. I'll see you there. Later.